Caru Candrika Didi. She first met devotees around 87 and moved into the temple around 91, and then first met Srila Gurudeva, Srila Narayan Maharaj, around 1994, and took initiation in 1996. And since around 2007, she's been under his instruction. She's been traveling and preaching and giving a lot of association to devotees all around the world and inspiring devotees. So we're very fortunate to be able to hear from her today. You have 30 minutes and I will ask you to unmute now.
All right. Anyway, thank you so much for inviting me to speak on such a glorious day. So without further ado, begin. Om Gina Tmandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chaksham Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Panchakalpa Drubhyascha Kripa Sindhave Vacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyapane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Iti Namine Gove Gorchandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaye Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shikor Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So before I begin, I'd like to offer my humble, most respectful obeisances. Time and time again, I offer my heart like flowers at the dust of the lotus feet of my beloved Gurudev, Om Vishnupad Astotarasata Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, whose PureBhakti.Tv Maha Mahotsav it is today. And at the same time, I offer my Koti Koti Dandavat Pranams, my heart like flowers at the dust of the lotus feet of Om Vishnupad Astotarasata Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, whose PureBhakti.Tv Mahotsav it is today, and to my Param Gurudevs, Nityalila Bhushan Vishnupad Astotarasata Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, and Nityalila Bhushan Vishnupad Astotarasata Shishimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj. And to all Vaishnavas and all Vaishnavis, I offer my Dandavat Pranams. So, I've been invited to speak on this very lofty topic of Srila Gurudeva, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, the ideal disciple of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj. So, where to begin? Guru Padashraya is the first limb of Bhakti. And it's said that it's rare, very rare to find a sad guru, but it's far more rare to find a sat shisha, that means an ideal disciple. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he said, one can easily attain a sadguru, but it's not so easy to find a sat shisha. So Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, he was a sat shisha. And not only was he a sat shisha, but he was a sadguru. And like father, like son, so was our beloved Gurudev. He was sat shisha and sadguru. So Gurudev, he said, both our Gurudev, that means Srila Bhakti-Pragyan Keshav Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, a guru never makes disciples, and I haven't made any disciples. A guru makes gurus. So all of Srila Prabhupada's disciples were guru, and they could deliver the whole world. So in the same way, Srila Gurudev made so many gurus. Like we know, Shripad Madhav Maharaj, Shripad Tirtha Maharaj, Shripad Bon Maharaj, Premananda Prabhu, Shripad Padmanabh Maharaj, so many. And not only them, but even there's brahmacharis, brahmacharinis, grihastas, like that. So everywhere Gurudev went, he would first begin his class by speaking on Guru Tattva. And he would always establish that Guru Nishta is the backbone of bhakti. So Gurudev didn't just speak this, but he was the very embodiment of Guru Nishta, just like his Guru Maharaj. So his Guru Maharaj, he showed that at the time of Navadvip Dham Parikrama, for example, when at one point the Parikrama party, they gathered in front of Prodramaya temple, and that was in Navadvip, and Srila Prabhupada was giving Hari Katha, and a group of smarter Brahman and caste Goswamis, they came and they attacked the party. They wanted to kill Srila Prabhupada. They held bricks and stones and hot water bottles, soda bottles, like this. It was very, very dangerous. So all were shocked and greatly fearful. And it was like great pandemonium. So the pilgrims there, they ran here, there, everywhere, and they wanted to protect their lives. But there was only one disciple who wasn't concerned for himself at all. Not at all. He immediately acted to save his Guru Maharaj. And who was that? That was Vinod Bihari Brahmachari. So what did he do? He immediately took his Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, to a nearby house for protection. And he quickly exchanged Srila Prabhupada's sannyas vesh for his white cloth. And after that, he sent Srila Prabhupada to Mayapur, and the mob, they didn't even recognize Prabhupada because he was in disguise. So all the Vaishnavas were amazed at Vinod Bihari's remarkable Guru Nishta. And this is just one example. There's so many. So Gurudev said, oh, if a disciple is sacrificing as my Gurudev did, keeping all difficulties to himself and never complaining, but continuing to serve his Guru Maharaj, then Gurudev will be so pleased, and that disciple will get his mercy. So we see in the life of Gurudev how surrendered he was to his Guru Maharaj, even risking his own life in the service of one of his Guru Maharaj's very dear young brahmacharis. His name was Ananga Mohan Brahmachari. This brahmachari used to sing very sweetly, play madanga very well, and cook and wash the cloth of Srila Bhakti-Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, his Guru Maharaj. And he served him in so many ways, did all kinds of menial services. So once in Madras, so happened that Gurudev's godbrother, Ananga Mohan Brahmachari, he caught tuberculosis, TB. So Srila Bhakti-Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, Param Gurudev, he wanted one of his disciples to take care of him. But no one wanted to take care of him. They didn't want to take him to the hospital and take care of him. They were afraid as he was vomiting blood everywhere. TB is highly contagious. So Gurudev said, all were afraid. No one dared to take care of that boy. But I never cared for my life. I saw how my Gurudev loved him. And so I decided to take care of him. I told Guru Maharaj, oh, you can go and preach and I'll take care of him. And so Gurudev took great care of him. He performed all kinds of menial services, even cleaning his blood. Can you imagine? Then one day, the doctors said, oh, they checked, oh, he has no pulse and he'll die very soon. So that day, even in that condition, just before he left this world, Gurudev said he was begging, praying, calling out to his Guru Maharaj, oh, Baba, oh, Baba, Baba, oh, Gurudev, Krishna is calling me. Srimati Radhika is calling me. They are calling me to Vrindavan. I'm going to Vrindavan. Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Shri Krishna. Hey Gaur Chandra, hey Nityananda Prabhu. Gurudev then held his feet and he humbly requested him, oh Prabhu, please be merciful. When you go to Vrindavan, don't forget me. Please pray to Radha and Krishna that they may shower their mercy on me so that I can become a pure devotee. And so that one day they may also call me there. So in this way, Gurudev showed his Guru Nishtha, risking his life in Guru Seva. Gurudev said that Ananga Mohan, he wasn't an extraordinary devotee by any means. He was illiterate. He had no material qualification at all. But he had one qualification. And what was that? His only qualification was that he served his Guru. He was very simple-hearted and surrendered to his Guru Maharaj and Krishna. So you can see how serving such an elevated Guru, Mahabhagavat Vaishnava, like Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, even being not so qualified, what is the result? And in the same way, what can be the result of someone who's serving such an elevated Guru, Mahabhagavat Vaishnava Guru, like our Gurudev? If we just simply serve him in a surrendered mood, then what can be the result? So, Gurudev once said, we must think that Gurus are Atma, our very life and soul. And being totally surrendered to him, we must depend solely on him. So the true disciple, he's completely surrendered. And that surrendered disciple actually is willing to become the property of his Guru. And definitely Gurudev, he was completely surrendered. Gurudev told that when I first joined the mat, I told my Gurudev, oh, I'm giving my heart to you. I'm giving you the love and affection that I had for my wife, my children, my mother, father, and everyone else. I'm taking that love and affection and in total surrender, I'm placing it at your lotus feet. Then, when Param Gurudev heard this, his heart melted and tears came in his eyes. He wept, saying, oh, Until now, no one has told me this. And Gurudev said, I thus received his causeless mercy. And he said, that's why now people all over the world are hearing from me. If you surrender to your Gurudev, you will receive everything you require to attain the perfection of life and to make others perfect. So Gurudev would often say, first give yourself to Guru, for Guru Nishta is the backbone of bhakti. How many times did Gurudev say this? So many times. He spoke this again and again and again. So Gurudev said one time, if we have Nishta for Krishna and Nishta for Srimati Radhika, Nishta for Manjaris or for anyone else, but we have no Nishta for Gurudev, how will our Nishta be pure? If we can't give our whole self to Gurudev, how can we develop real attachment for Krishna? Who will give us to Krishna? Only Gurudev. So Gurudev, he also said, even if one has a Nanya Bhakti to Srimati Radhika, but no Guru Nishta, then his Bhakti will be 0. So Gurudev said, what I have and what I'm preaching isn't coming from me. It's not that I'm so intelligent or that I'm preaching. The credit belongs to my Gurudev. By the mercy of my Gurudev, I know the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and by his mercy, I also know the mercy of Shri Rupa Sanatan, Shri Rupa Raghunath, and all other Guru Paramparacharyas. So Gurudev said that a disciple should know the manobishtam, the innermost heart's desire of his Guru, and he should try to fulfill it in his life. And if he doesn't do this, he's not a disciple. So Gurudev certainly fulfilled the manobishtam of his Guru in the same way that Srila Bhakti-Pragyan Keshav Maharaj fulfilled his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada's manobishtam. Gurudev said, a true disciple performs Vishrambena Guru Seva. So what does this mean? It means service that's performed in a spirit of great love, friendship, and intimacy. Like a pranabandhu means like very, very dearmost friend, but still at the same time maintaining honor and respect. So the hallmark of Vishrambena Guru Seva is the feeling that one is the property of his Guru, and the disciple who possesses this mood won't hesitate to fulfill his Guru's request no matter what personal difficulty there is, or no matter what inconvenience there is. He will anyhow try to fulfill that instruction. In fact, he'll feel great joy to accept any difficulty or inconvenience for the pleasure of his Guru. Why? Because his sole aim and object is to please his Guru. So Gurudev said such a disciple will fulfill his Guru's manobishtam without any hesitation. And we see that in the life of Srila Gurudev, how he fulfilled the manobishtam of his Guru Maharaj in every way. So I wanted to give some parallel of Srila Bhakti-Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, his qualities, his characteristics, his pastimes, his teachings, and Gurudev's. So we see in the prayer, Nam Om Vishnupadaya Charya Simha Rupane Shishimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Iti Namane. What does this mean? I offer pranam to the lion-like Acharya Simha Rupane, Jagat Guru Om Vishnupad Astotara Tata Shishimad Srila Bhakti.Tv Keshava Goswami Maharaj. So what is the qualities of a lion? He is fierce to those who oppose him, but very protective to his cubs. So we see that in the life of Param Gurudeva, how he was bold like a lion, at the same time soft like a rose, how he didn't tolerate any apaccidant. Immediately, Gurudev said he would immediately cut those arguments. He said his pen was like a sword, and that it would write and cut each and every apaccidant that was presented. So, like father, like son, Gurudev very lovingly cared for his brahmacharis, but at the same time, he was very strict with them, and he trained them very well in all tattva siddhant, just like his Guru Maharaj had trained him and other very prominent disciples like Srila Bhaktivedanta Ramana Goswami Maharaj and Srila Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Maharaj. They were the three pillars of Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, and no one could defeat them. So Gurudev imbibed all the very deep tattva siddhant that he had heard from his Gurudev, and he wrote it in his Guru Maharaj's biography, Srila Bhakti.Tv Keshava Maharaj's biography, which is revered by all prominent Vaishnavas. This is such an excellent book filled with so many important teachings, tattva siddhant, so many beautiful pastimes of Param Gurudev. So Gurudev, he very patiently trained all his sannyasis and brahmacharis and even brahmacharinis like Savita Didi, Krihastas, and so many to preach very boldly like lions. He would tell them, oh, stand up and speak on so many different tattvas, and he would tell them to recite slokas, and if they couldn't speak perfectly or recite the sloka perfectly, then he would chastise them. So they would be able to speak on any topic, any tattva, but he always told them, and don't repeat any points that's been previously stated. So everyone had to come up with newer points. And he would even notice the most subtle mistake of even the greatest scholars. Even pandits who would speak before Gurudev, then he would understand any mistake. Or he would point out certain points, and even the greatest pandits, they would have great difficulty in detecting those very subtle points of siddhant. Why? Because his conception of tattva siddhant was so extremely refined. So what was the result in this? That all his senior as well as junior disciples have a very thorough understanding of tattva siddhant, and they can speak on just about any subject that they're asked to. So a lion also, he will feel indebted to one who has saved him. Atima cha tritrayas. Oh, this is the next sloka also. This is also similar meaning. Atima cha tritrayas rashtritanam chapalane jive dukkha satataya shinama prema daine. This is glorifying the characteristics of Param Gurudev, how he's transcendental to the modes of nature, and he's protecting and nurturing those who take shelter of him. He's always aggrieved to see the suffering of the jivas, and he bestows love for Shinam. So Gurudev said, even in an animal, there's so much gratitude. As Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said, that Nityananda Prabhu's gratitude is just like that. When he told the story of when a barber removed thorn from a lion's foot. And for years later, or for that lion's entire life, he remained grateful. So we've seen the same quality of gratitude in the life of Param Gurudev, how he was so grateful and dedicated to the lotus feet of his Guru Maharaj, how he was crying in great separation at the samadhi of his Guru, Srila Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in Mayapur, and his voice would become choked when he tried to utter the name Prabhupada. So in the same way, also Gurudev, Param Gurudev, he said, I have heard that Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna is supremely merciful, and Gaurasundara is also so very merciful, and so is Nityananda Prabhu, who is mercy personified. The 6 Goswamis are causelessly merciful. But without doubt, I was present in one form or another during that time, but no one bestowed mercy upon me. But they knew me. Why? Because they knew me to be extremely heinous and sinful. But my Guru Padma, Srila Prabhupada, he pulled me up by the seat and he made me a dust particle at his lotus feet. He has in fact made me his own. And Gurudev said like this also. He said, my birth was in Bihar, and Srila Prabhupada was present in this world at that time. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was in Mayapur at that time. But they didn't save me. However, my Gurudev took me from my worldly position. He took me by the seat and he dragged me to Navadvip, and he induced me to imbibe Krishna Tattva. At that time, I didn't realize his glories, but I'm gradually understanding how glorious he is. And also, after the disappearance of our beloved Srila Gurudev, on such occasions like his PureBhakti.Tv, we can remember his glories. Maybe at the time, we weren't appreciating to the full extent, but gradually hearing and churning these beautiful pastimes and teachings of Gurudev, then more appreciation can come in the heart. So Gurudev, he said, Gurudev, whenever he would speak on the first day of Kartik, first day of Kartik is what? His Guru Maharaj's PureBhakti. And Gurudev would sit, and as soon as he opened his mouth to utter his Guru Maharaj's pranam mantras, then his voice would become choked up and tears would well in his eyes. He'd cry, remembering his Guru Maharaj. We couldn't imagine the depths of feelings he had for his Guru Maharaj and his extreme mood of separation. So Gurudev said that a person, he may have no money, no material facilities at all, no qualifications, but if he fully surrenders, then he can certainly fulfill his Gurudev's desire, which is Krishna's desire. So Gurudev very humbly said, I know I'm not qualified in any way. I'm not a learned person. I don't know many languages. I don't know Sanskrit, English, or anything. But I offered myself at the lotus feet of my Guru Maharaj. And from that, everything has come. He said, I was ready to give up my life for him. Whatever he wanted, I did without any desire for self-gain. Also, I was very fortunate, Gurudev said, to personally serve many great Vaishnavas, many of Srila Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur disciples, Bhakti-Vaksha Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Bhakti-Vinod Puri Maharaj, and so many others. So that he said, even the most learned scholar of Mathura, who are most learned scholars in the whole world, and even the most respected Goswamis of Braj, they are coming to me. Why? Because of only one qualification, that I served my Guru Maharaj. That is my only qualification. So another quality of a lion is that he's very protective towards his own cubs, and he will feel indebted to one who has saved him. I was saying before that Gurudev even felt indebted to his disciples, like when every year when he would go to the home of Pran Kishore Prabhu and Champakalata Didi in Baja, then he would remember them, their how they served selflessly, and they've sold their house, their car, the ornaments of Champakalata Didi's wife, Pran Kishore Prabhu's wife, and like, why? Because they collected so much money for the building of Rup Sanat and Gaudiya Mat, and he was remembering. So Gurudev's heart was very, very soft, like Param Gurudev's heart, very soft. So like a lion is very powerful and very strong towards those who are opposing, like those devotees who, or so-called devotees, who are opposed to the real Tattva Siddhanta, then he's powerful like this. But those who are like, his cubs, his very own, he's very soft and very loving. So how, I'll finish now. So how Gurudev was so loving towards us all. And everyone can remember Gurudev's love, Gurudev's sweetness. So I was going to say so many other things, but I don't have time. But anyhow, I'll just finish by the very, very, very last sloka. Guru Shaya Vigrahaya Krishna Kaimaika Charane Rupanuga Pravaraya Vinodati Sarupane. So how Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav is the shelter of love for Gauranga, and his every action is solely to fulfill the desires of Sri Krishna, is best among the followers of Rupa Goswami, and his identity is that of Vinod Manjari. So Gurudev, who is he? He's the foremost Rupanuga Gaudiya Vaishnava, and he established Shri Rup Sanat and Gaudiya Mat in Vrindavan, and he held the Rupa Goswami conference every year for many years, and he invited all Vaishnavas and learned pandits from all over Braj to speak. So Gurudev, he's a real Brijbasi, but what kind of Brijbasi? Is the Palyadasi of Srimati Vadika, Raman Manjari, who has come here to give Palyadasi Bhava, Radha Dasham, in the same way as Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, who also came to give this very rare gift. So Gurudev's Acharya Leela, it was only for this purpose, just like his Guru Maharaj, because he's the foremost Rupanuga Gaudiya Vaishnava. So I'm being asked to finish there. And there's so many things to say about how Gurudev is the most ideal disciple of Nityalila Vishnu Vishnu Paradasta Tarsata Shishi Mad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, the lion-like Acharya. And but how he fulfilled his Guru Maharaj's Manobishtam, his innermost heart's desire, and how he performed Vishram Bena Guru Seva, just like his Guru Maharaj performed to his Guru Maharaj Srila Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So I'll finish there. Sorry, I was rushing at the end there. Anyway, I'm very unqualified to speak, as those are far, far, far more qualified than me speaking. But thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to say a few words about the innumerable glories of my Guru Maharaj. Nityalila Vishnu Vishnu Paradasta Tarsata Shishi Mad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nichila Rushan Vishan Padas, Tatasa Shishi Mad Bhaktivedanta Slavama Goswami Maja Ki Jai, Eva Pukun Kuvag Ki Jai, Shintai Go Premanandi, Hari Hari Go, Antikabdu Vista Kripasindev Cha Patitanam Pavnavyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha.
Jai. Thank you so much for coming and making time to speak for all of us, to glorify Srila Gurudeva in this way. I really appreciated how you emphasized the nishta of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj to his Gurudev, to Srila Prabhupada, and then how in turn Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj has the same nishta to Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. So in that way, we can see through the Guru Vag that this is consistent, and it's such a beautiful, amazing thing. So thank you so much. Very well.